Hello, Flosstube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel all about cross stitch with a little bit of paper crafting thrown in too. So today is not the regular video. If you are new, my regular videos come out on Fridays, and I'd love to see you there. But since it is the beginning of a new month, we are hitting May, I thought it would be fun to come with a video talking about my I Spy challenge. So if you are new, I recently, I think it started in March, decided to have some fun and create a challenge. There's lots of different cross stitch challenges out there, and you can participate in as many or as few or none that you want. But I thought it was fun for me to kind of give me a little jump start into some of my projects. And so I thought I would share it all with you. And if you are on Facebook, you are more than welcome to join my Facebook page, create a post in the event, take pictures, do all of that stuff so we can see everything that you're doing. You do not have to be on Facebook. If you go to my community page on this channel, I will list at the beginning of the month, they're already listed, I did it this weekend, the challenges and the prompts. So this way you can be included whether you are part of social media or not. And then I thought now it would be fun to take it one step further and show you I am actually organized. This is the first month of the I Spies that I have actually already decided what all of my projects will be for the prompts. A lot of times I'm just flying by the seat of my pants, but this time around we've got it. And so I thought it'd be fun to share. And then I will show you along with that my challenge journal, because starting this year I did create kind of like a journal sort of thing in order to put all of my challenges, because I was having trouble keeping track of them, to be honest with you. So I will share all of that as well. Alrighty, so May I Spy prompts. Like I said, they came out a couple days ago. I Spy is basically, if you haven't done it before or heard about it, is exactly as it was when you were a kid. There's 10 different things, and so it's basically I Spy and whatever it is, and find something like that on your projects. It does not have to be 100% literal. If you can make a connection somehow or some way, and there's a few that I will show you I'm going to do that with on this, and I keep some of them vague just so that you can, you know, kind of go pull from your own experiences and your projects and able to be successful. The whole idea is to touch your projects, to get some X's in, maybe pull out projects that you haven't stitched on in a while if they've kind of sat in the back of the whip pile, and just kind of, you know, kind of stitch and have fun with lots of other people as well. So that's the whole beauty and joy of it. So let's get started and I'll show you. So I'm going to show you, I'll tell you the prompt, I will show you what project I am planning on, and then I will show you where I am. There's no new starts for the prompts. That doesn't mean I don't have new starts for May. I do. I have them planned already for the first and the second of the month, but you know, you'll have to wait till Friday for that. Surprisingly, I was able to, I thought I might, there was one I was surprised that I wasn't sure I had a project for, and then I was able to do so. The one thing I wanted to say, I don't have a lot of those different apps that a lot of people have, like Notions and the different types of things. That's a little bit more technology than I want to do. You can see my notes for today's video are all on paper. Everything I like to do is paper. You know, my journal is all paper. I have a stitching planner so everything I do, I like to do as much as I can, kind of the physical writing and decorating and coloring. But what I did do was I took my iPad and I took pictures, whether they're digital or hard copy, of all of my works in progress right now. So there's a few missing that I have to add here. But for the most, I think 90% of them are here. So then what I did was I took the prompts and I literally just kept scrolling up and down to look for different things that would fill the prompts. And I found that so useful. And it just took me an afternoon of kind of finding pictures, especially if, you know, what I needed, and getting them on this. This is just one of the albums in my iPad. And then I can go to it right away and see what I have at a glance. So, you know, if you have a few minutes and you want to put them in some sort of visual kind of, say, scrapbook of sorts, and you don't have any of the fancy apps, then that's a way to do it too. Okay, So very first prompt is flowers. I spy flowers. Now that one's a pretty easy one, I have to say. And I had lots of choices. I purposely chose The Earth Laughs in Flowers by Jan Hicks because if you've been watching the last couple months, you know I've kind of stalled on this project and I'm really making a concerted effort to find ways to bring this out. So if it's part of a prompt, and for me, that was the other thing. For the prompts, you do whatever you want. Maybe it's stitch on it once in the month. Maybe it's to get 500 stitches. Maybe it's to do a motif of some sort. For me, I give myself 200 stitches is my goal. A lot of times I'll get more than that, but that's just so that I know I've touched it and I know it's come out. You don't have to do all 10 prompts. You can repeat projects for prompts. You could do all 10 with one project if you really wanted to see a lot of work on it. Again, this is your challenge. You do it the way you want to. So here I am, and this is where now nothing is ironed. I'm going to tell you that. You know, I am notorious for ironing for my Flosstube videos. It's the only time my iron ever gets used. So I feel like, you know, it at least gets some use. But for this, I was just pulling stuff out. And so you're going to see it with all its little wrinkles and everything else that it's got. But that's okay, right? So when you do see them in the Flosstubes, they'll be ironed. So this is what Earth Laughs is at this moment. I am using this I'm using Cosmo Floss, and because it's 20 count, so this is a 20 count fabric, I'm using one strand, which I've found one strand on the Cosmo. That's been my sticking point, right? I've been having trouble with it, but I figure if I keep pulling it out for prompts, each time I do that, a little bit more gets done. So there's obviously lots and lots of flowers on this one. So that is what I'll do for that. And you know, the beauty of this is now I have all these projects out. So I'm going to take a picture of them because I don't know about you, but when it comes to challenges, the biggest fail for me is the before pictures. I always forget to take the before pictures. So this way I have everything all ready to go. I can just hit that, you know, grab the camera and take a bunch of pictures. Okay, so next starts with the letter Y, something that starts with the letter Y. I went with yellow, something yellow, right? Because that starts with the yellow sun. Oh, I'm pointing in the wrong way. The yellow sun will start with the letter Y. Now, I am not doing the entire piece of Shores of Hakron Hollow. If you remember, I am doing, let me see here. That's the other thing with having all of my projects here. I can grab them in one folder. I am doing a smaller version. So we're doing 4 small blocks with a large middle block inside. So 5 blocks total. So that's what mine will look like. Now, I'm sure many of you were really surprised when you saw me pull this out that I didn't go with a blue fabric because, you know, me and blue, right? I didn't. This was fabric, it's an 18 count, and I got it years ago thinking I would do this project on it because I was inspired by the cover art. Well, I think I realized that to do the whole thing, this was too small a piece, and then it just sat for a couple years. So I pulled it out, and that's where I am. Now, I don't have all the names of fabrics and everything when I show them this month, or if there's one that you really wanted to know, just ask me, shoot me a quick message, and I'll let you know. So that's the starting point of this one. So we will see. We will see. I mean, I don't have, you know, finish this or finish that beyond just the 200 stitches. So I figure that's good enough. Because there's lots of other things I'm doing this month too. So I don't want to make these goals too hard to achieve either. Alrighty, next. So the third prompt is something that is from a song title. I think found in a song title, right? So I went to my Spotify list. I had so much fun. I'm telling you right now, we may do a pop-up music challenge in the future. I really think so. But anyway, I scrolled through and there was like, oh, I could use that. And oh, I could use that. And ultimately, I kind of knew I wanted to do this project as a focus for the month of May. And a song came up that I said, well, that's perfect. So Boys of Summer by Don Henley, if you know it. this is obviously a scene to me of summer. So this is Bottled Beauty. It's a full coverage piece, cross stitch for everyone, I believe it is. And so for the month of May, this is going to get way more than 200 stitches. I'm going to try to stitch on it about 100 stitches a day to try to get approximately, give or take, 3,000. So we'll see. So at the start of the month, let me show you what I got. This is where it is. And 18 count white Aida, 2 strands over 1, if you were curious. And I'm surprisingly low on the confetti parts of this because I started this before I had Pattern Keeper and I was just doing paper. So I think I filled in a bunch once I put it into Pattern Keeper. So we will see how that goes. All right, the next prompt is I Spy Grass. Well, that one's pretty easy because I think a lot of our projects will have grass of some form or another. This is a retired cross-stitch piece, so I actually can't find the picture of it. It's a picture of the diamond painting version. This is Minnie watching the world go by. It was a Heaven and Earth Designs full coverage project, like I said, since retired, and it is Lucy Pittaway, right? Pittaway is the last name. I think it's Lucy. I'm almost sure. If not, I can look it up for you. But like I said, you can't get them on Heaven and Earth anymore. So that's where that one is. Again, 18 count, 2 strands over 1, full cross. Now what I will do is this will also get more than 200. I will pull this out for, I'm slightly tweaking my full coverage rotations and 1,000 stitches though. So this will get 1,000 stitches this month. And we'll see where it goes. I have so much fun being able to get into some more of the colors now. I love that piece. Okay, the next prompt is something that reminds you of your mom or a mother figure. I want to be inclusive, and so, you know, I think that's a great way to think about. Maybe somebody is been such an inspiration and almost like a mother figure in your life, and there's something that you're stitching that reminds you of them. I want you to be able to honor that. Alrighty, so where is this? I know it's here somewhere. It's a digital piece. So oh, there it is. My mom is from Ireland, Tipperary to be exact, Tipperary town. And I believe it was St. Michael's Avenue for anybody who knows Tipperary. I'm not going to put the word Ireland in. I'm just going to do the outer edges of it. I'm still a little unsure about these colors. I need to start stitching them to see how they'll look on my fabric, if they need to be tweaked at all. This is from Vlada X Stitch, if you're interested. They have both an Etsy and a standalone. And this, you can see, this is as far as I got because I'm getting very close to the green and I'm still kind of waffling. So I will put some work on that and think of my mom. Okay. Now next, this one I thought, part of the reason why I thought it'd be fun to do some of these is so that you can see kind of thought processes or ideas. Number 6, I think, was the hardest. If you haven't noticed, sometimes what I try to do is I try to take different holidays or events or things happening in the months and kind of put them sprinkled in through the prompts, and then, you know, do some things like colors or letters or whatever. So obviously in May, we have May the 4th, right? And so it's Star Wars Day. I said, well, I have to do something. So I put as a prompt, something that would be seen, could be seen, might be seen in a Star Wars movie or TV series. I'm going with the whole thing. So you can do the whole Disney Star Wars stuff too, if you want. Now this is, I know you're going to say, how does this actually fit? So this is called Life Happens, and it's from Georgia Girl Stitching. So when life happens, beer helps. Wow. I figured, now I've only seen, I'm not very good at the whole, I've seen the first few back, you know, because I'm old. And so I've seen all of the originals, the originals. And then we kind of revisited a lot of the Disney TV shows. But there's a whole bunch in between that I haven't seen. So it might be a lot easier for you if you've seen a lot of them. But they always had cantinas, right? And in cantinas, they're going to serve beer, or potentially, maybe beer. I feel like Han Solo would be a beer drinker, right? So I'm going with that. So that's my Star Wars connection, is Life Happens. And there are connections, you know, think about the planets and the moons and the this and the that, or things you might see or somehow or other. Or there's lots of options, but just kind of expand from what you kind of just the literal, I don't have a stitch with, you know, Yoda on it or something like that. Now, if you do, feel free to stitch it, but you don't have to do something so literal. Okay, next, something red. You know, I thought that one, you know, I always try to throw in some colors. And again, I try to do it from a holiday. So Memorial Day and, you know, red, white, and blue. So I went with the red. And here we go. Alice in Wonderland tree is the one I picked for that. I'm really hoping, I'm not going to get Wizard of Oz tree done before I probably pick this one up again. I was hoping I might, but there we go. That's where I am so far. So I'm fairly new to this project, and I kind of put it aside because I really was looking to complete Wizard of Oz, but that's okay. Wizard of Oz is close. There's lots of red in this. I've already done a little bit in this project, so that one was a no-brainer. That was pretty easy for me in the sense of finding a project. It was harder to narrow it down almost more than anything else. All right, the next one. This was surprisingly hard for me. I Spy a Bee. I figured that would be a no-brainer. I would find bees all over the place. I had to look really far. So let me show you the big piece parts. Spring Quaker from Leela Studio. And if you really scroll in, you can see the bees by the beehive there. And no, you do not have to stitch the actual object. It just has to be in your project somewhere. So don't worry about that either. Oh, and I've already got a bee stitched in this. As I held it up, I just noticed that. So this is my project, my progress right now on this. I did radically change this. So if you are new, when I show this, I'll have all of the changes in colors of flosses and so on and so forth. As you can see here, we already have a little bee, and on the other side will be where the other bees are. So I won't get to them this time around, but they'll get some stitches in. So that is prompt number 8. Number 9 was something that you would see at a party. I was thinking Cinco de Mayo. I have nothing that really went. I was kind of trying to figure out if I had something that kind of went with that. I couldn't find anything. So I was flipping through, I was looking through my projects, and I saw this one. Now, I'm dating myself here. I was a teenager in the 80s. The entire decade is when I had my teen years. So this is what made me think of this. Because at parties, we would have boom boxes, and that kind of looks like that. Could be even I don't know. Could it be? I suppose, you know, it could be a cooler, but I'm going with the fact that it's a boom box. I might have misread what it is, but you know, that's what we had at parties. I mean, if it was a summer party, we'd have sunglasses and we'd have different fun stuff in this. So I'm going with this one, and it's Summer Sign Series Summer Twin Peak Primitives. I would have recently showed this one to you because I did work on this in April. So that's where that one is. So yeah. I won't be getting to that bottom row, but that's okay. No problem. And prompt number 10 was a curved line. What I've been looking to try to do is also look sometimes for some design elements. And again, you can read into them broadly. So, you know, I think we had a circle last month, and I think we had stripes. So, you know, kind of different fun stuff like that as well. So a curved line. If you look here, this part of the stem of the flowers is a curved line. So this is May's Lily of the Valley from Cottage Garden Samplings. And this was perfect because obviously leading into May, I wanted to pull this piece out and get some stitches into it. So that worked out really well. I was looking at these, and then I said, ooh, let me see what May has. And I was able to find a curved line. All right, you know what? There's just a little extra fabric here, so I'll just do that. So that's where May is at the moment. I'm going to say probably, well, 200 stitches is not going to finish it. This might be a struggle to get this finished in May, but that's okay. April is most definitely not getting finished in April, so no worries. So that's that. So those are my I Spy challenges or pieces, projects that I'm going to do. So if you look at my journal, there's my May. I tried to do vines with leaves. It didn't quite work out that way, but you know, I didn't do too bad. My I Spy is all set up, but the only thing I didn't do, and let me show you how I do normally. This was my April's. So I write the prompts, then I write another color what I stitched, and I forgot to put my boxes, and I color in the boxes when I get the prompts done. So I need to do all that. I will probably, as I do them, write them in versus doing them all ahead of time. And then there's two challenges that I do that are acrostics. And so we have the Crafts and Books, which is a Facebook page that you can find. It's open to anybody all year round. And Beth, the Steadfast Stitcher, does an acrostic. And this month the acrostic is flowers. So I can show you, I did finish last month. It was showers. She's tricky, that one. We had April showers, so now we have May flowers. And the prompts there are 200 stitches, or you can do penalty stitches. For the magazine monthly cross stitch challenge group, the acrostic is bicycle. I did finish last month's rowboat, so that was rowboat from last month. And so I have just the letters in. Oh, see, it's afternoon, so it's a little bit harder to see. It's a little bit brighter, plus off of the weight here of the paper. So I have all that down, and when as you can see, if I go back, when I do these, I just color in with colored pencil. I color in the letter when I complete the prompt. So that is the two acrostics. And then there is Whip Warriors, which is a closed group right now, but you can certainly join the challenges. You're just not going to be in the group, which is fine, because then you just do kind of do what you want. The categories prompts remain the same every month, so that doesn't change, but this month the letter was just called, and it is the letter G. So think about that. I don't know if I'll do categories this month because I have a lot of stuff going on with May, so categories might end up, we'll see. It'll be kind of one of those mid-month, I'll evaluate whether or not I want to do it. And then on, you know what? I did not bring it over. I've already got it set for tomorrow to start. I am starting Arabesque from Jen Hicks tomorrow, and is hashtag Arabesque Sal. I know that Beth, the Steadfast Stitcher, is stitching it, as well as Paula, stitching in high heels, and I believe there is a third, and I am blanking on right now. I am so sorry. If you've told me that you're stitching it, I'm not thinking about it. I'll write it down when I get names. So if you want to join us on that stitch along, that is happening in May. I also have a section I started because I was losing what the stitch alongs were. I've started to write down each month what stitch alongs there are, or starting in a specific month. Some of them are not. Some of them are month long, like the next one. Some of them, like Arabesque Sal, are pretty open-ended. But for May, you know there's all sorts of May challenges going on. I am doing the Manning May Sal, and that is basically to stitch on a Carolyn Manning piece. And that is hosted by Cam the Stitcher, Marjorie Maid, Museum Stitcher, and Seattle Stitcher. And so I won't be able to actually, not that I'm really great at social media, but I won't necessarily be able to show those on social media because they are gifts. And so I'm not going to want to put them on there because the kids do follow me on Instagram. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you the different months that I'm doing. What I did was I bought part of the Shooting Star collection from Carolyn Manning. I bought these pieces that coincided with birthday months of people that I wanted to make the gift for. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of the bottom ones. I thought I was going to do this one, but now I keep looking at them, and this is the first one I'm starting on May 2nd because that's Connor's birthday, and I'm not sure which one I'm doing now. I'm not 100% sure I'm still doing this one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch these on 20 count fabric. So they'll be about 4 by 4 inches, I believe. And I'm going to make them into Christmas ornaments, and they will be Christmas gifts. Because I like to do a little stitch something as a gift for Christmas. Then we have ruby. So I'm thinking, I'm not 100% sure if I'll start all 5 that I want to stitch in May. I might. They're all going to go on the same fabric, you know, the same count fabric and everything. So again, it'll be one of these 4. Then we have peridot, one of the 4, opal, and turquoise. So that is my Manning May Sal plans there. So there could be up to 5 new starts with that, because, you know, whether I start only 2 right now and still have 3 to go, or if I start all 5, really doesn't matter. For Mo and myself, I may, if time is getting short, I may slow down and put mine and Mo's away. And, you know, if ours aren't done for this Christmas, no big deal, right? I could work on it and give it to Mo in March next year and he'd be fine. So we'll see. I'll kind of play that by ear to see how the year goes, because I keep adding starts. So I have those 5 starts potentially plus arabesque. And I believe, if I spoke in my video, there's at least one other, if not any more starts coming up. Oh, and come on Friday, we'll talk about trading cards too. So there'll be some starts with that. So lots of great plans for May, but I did want to come on with the prompts just so that, you know, if you weren't really sure, and you can just, I mean, I don't mind, and I'm sure the people running the other prompts and games don't necessarily mind. So for I Spy, Magazine Monthly, and Crafts and Books, I have a lot of the projects overlapping, so that I'm actually going to see success and filling out. I'm not coming up with, say, 35 different projects, one for each prompt. I'm pretty much, for my own, for I Spy, I did come up with 10 because I figured I have enough projects. But then I thought, now let's see what other ones can go. So mix and match. I certainly don't mind on my challenge if you mix and match with other things you are already doing. I say go for it. Make your life easier, not harder. So, yeah, I think that's about it. If you have questions about any of the projects, if they are new to you, if I'm new to you, or questions about any of the different challenges, I can try to direct you as best I can into whatever direction that would be best for you. And there probably will be not a lot in the description section. Usually there is quite a bit, but this is just a jumping point for us. So feel free to ask, because I probably will not have a lot of extra information in the box below. So hopefully I will see you on Friday, but until next time, happy stitching.